Hello children, happy to see you again. Welcome to the YouTube channel. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bhadasnath Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to see 11th standard zoology, the second chapter, Kingdom Animalia. And in this chapter, we have discussed about some of the phylums. We have discussed from Porifera to Echinodermata, and now we are going to discuss about the phylum Hemichordata, right? Can you see these images? Yes, these are all the hemichordates. Why it was named as hemichordates? Let us look into the reason. So, this is the image of the hemichordate children. What do you mean by hemi? Hemi. In Greek, hemi means half. Hemi means half. We say hemisphere, right? Half circle. And hemichord. Chord refers to string. Chord refer to string. So, the organisms which possess the notochord, that is they possess the chordate, this notochord, but it was not complete. We call it as hemichordate because they are placed, this hemichordata is placed between the chordates, that is the vertebrates, and the non-chordates. Because this balanoglossus, that is a hemichordata, they closely resemble the echinodermata of this non-chordates, but they possess some characters of the chordate also. So, we can say this, they are intermediate between the chordates and the non-chordates, hence the name hemichordata. And it is an independent phylum. It is an independent phylum which is closely resembled to echinodermata. From this, the one more question they will be asking children. And most of these worms that belongs to hemichordates are tongue shape, like a tongue in car. So, they are also called as tongue worms. Tongue worms. And mostly they are tubular. Tubular means what? They are in the shape of a tube like earthworm. But they show some differentiation. So, they have the tubular body. So, we can also call them as a tongue worms, and the other name for this is a acorn worms. Acorn worms. Acorn worms. So, now we shall see the general characteristics of this phylum. See children, this is the image of the hemichordate. The example is balanoglossus. What is the example? Balanoglossus, and you can see it is divisible into 3 regions, and in the top, what is it? It is a head, or we call it as a proboscis, and the next region is a collar, and the remaining portions fully we call it as a trunk. So, the body of the hemichordates is divisible into what? Proboscis, collar, and the trunk. Right children? So, this is the image of the balanoglossus. So, now we shall look into some of the characteristics. So, we have studied it is the internal structure of the balanoglossus, and here you can see the proboscis, right, which serves as a head. It is the excretory organ also. The excretory pores are also present inside the what? Inside the proboscis only. And the respiration is through the gill slits. The respiration through the gill slits. The gill slits opens into the pharynx. For example, in the balanoglossus, right, the head, the collar, and here will be the pharynx like this, and here we can see the gills like this. So, the gills, the respiration is through the gills which opens into the pharynx. So, this is a pharynx. The gill slits opens into the pharynx. So, how the respiration takes place? Through the gill slits. And where is the excretory organ located? In the proboscis. And now we shall see some other characteristics. The circulatory system. Circulatory system is open type. What do you mean by open type, children? Open type in the sense they do not have the blood vessels. The blood flow freely into the body. Just you can see the heart is located near the here in the proboscis region, and the blood flows freely in the body, and the digestive system is complete. It has a mouth and it has a anus, and the circulation is of open type, and the nervous system is poorly developed. What happened to the nervous system? Nervous system is very primitive. Primitive means very old. Nervous system is primitive. And here the sexes are separate. So this is a male worm and this is a female worm. The sexes are separate and the reproduction takes place through the sexual method, right? And the larva of this is a Tornaria larva. And here they have given some examples such as Balanoglossus, Saccoglossus and Trichodira flava, right? And these organisms are found in the Indian hemichordates, we say. This last one is a Indian hemichordates, and we can see this in the Kurusadai Islands. Which islands? Kurusadai Islands. In the Kurusadai Islands we can find this hemichordates. So now let us see the images. The first one is a, what is this? Balanoglossus. Balanoglossus. Another one, Saccoglossus. Saccoglossus. And this is a Trichodira flava. Trichodira flava. So these are all the hemichordates. So children, with this the invertebrates and the hemichordates was over, and the another last phylum is the phylum Chordata. When we call an organism as Chordata, children, when they possess the notochord, we call them as chordates, and it is a very largest phylum, and it includes all the fishes, all the birds, reptiles, and even we also included in this phylum. So now let us see the functions. So what are all the animals with the backbones? Yes, fishes, right? All the fishes comes under the class Fishes, and all the birds comes under the class Aves. Comes under the class Aves, and all the amphibians comes under Amphibia, class Amphibia. All the reptiles comes under the class Reptilia, and all the mammals including the human beings comes under the class Mammalia. Since it possesses all these, we call them as the largest phylum, and apart from this there are also some other organisms involved in the chordata. So now let us see what are they. Lancets and the tunicates, right? The tunicate, right? The example we can see ascidians, right? Ascidian, they possess the notochord in their tail region. In the embryonic development, they possess the notochord in the tail. Just look at this. It is a tail. The notochord is present here. So we can say them as urochordates also. Urochordates. And lancets. Lancets is then cephalochordate. Cephalochordate means they possess their head, the notochord in their head region. So cephalochordates. Cephalochordates. So what are the two other things involved, children? Lancets and the tunicates. And now we are going to see some of the important characteristics of the phylum Chordata, and this is a 5-mark question, children. You have to write all. First we shall discuss the characters and we shall study through the diagram. The first one is that at the time of their life cycle, all the chordates at any stage in their life cycle, they possess such organs. First one is a notochord. Notochord means what? For example, if you take a human baby, while it is developing in the fetus, first as a fetus it has only the notochord. Later it get developed into the vertebral column. And all the mammals possesses all the chordates. Next one, a dorsal hollow nerve cord. Nerve cord later in some organisms develops into nervous system. And pharyngeal gill slits or clefts for respiration. Even we human beings also has a pharyngeal gill slits in the starting, in the embryonic stages, and post-anal tail. You can see the fetus while developing, it possesses a tail-like organ at the back. So now let us discuss one of them. So this is an image to show you all the characteristics of the chordates. The first one what we discussed is the notochord. What is the notochord, children? Right, Mudugelambu we say. So the notochord, it is present between the nerve cord and the alimentary canal. What is a nerve cord? So here it is a nerve cord, the nervous system, right, nerve cord. We say it as a nerve cord. And here what is present? This is the digestive system, that is the alimentary canal. So here in between this is the notochord. So the notochord is located between the dorsal nerve cord and the ventral alimentary canal, right? And this notochord get disappeared in some of the organisms, but in the human beings notochord get developed into the vertebral column. Mudugelumba maaridu. Okay, next we are going to study about the nerve cord, right? Nerve cord is about the nervous system, right? So in some organisms it is very poorly developed, but in some high chordates this nerve cord get developed into brain. This nerve cord get developed into brain, were covered by the cranium, this is skull, and remaining portion develops into the spinal cord, which is covered by the vertebral column. So nerve cord. And another one is the pharyngeal gill slits. So these are all the pharyngeal gill slits which is responsible for respiration. So all the chordates at any one of the stage in their life cycle, they possess this gill slits. And the last important characteristics of the chordates is a post-anal tail, right? They possess the tail at the back. So these are all the 4 important characteristics. So here you see, children, this picture, the pharyngeal gill slits, it is in the fishes, right? You can see the gills. So this is the internal structure of the gills. This is the internal structure. With this session comes to an end, children. Go through the topic well, practice a diagram of the balanoglossus and write the characteristics of the phylum Chordata, and along in the description box we have attached the study material, assessment and the question bank for this lesson. Go through it. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.